Hey. I was supposed to go live last night, but I was still out in the woods hunting. You made me laugh, Marilyn. So, yeah, as you can probably hear in my voice, I'm not feeling too well. Um, yeah. Anyway, how was it that I was able to get sick in the middle of nowhere in the woods? Um, I guess it happens. Um, I was in contact with someone that was sick before I left, and I started feeling bad Sunday morning when I got up. But I wasn't feeling like 100%. Um, how can I say that? I mean, there's nothing that's going to stop me from going deer hunting. Um, before I start and before I go any further, I want to thank Marilyn. Thank you so much for this. Um, so it was taken or won by Carol Sanders, Roger Cormier, Gear Gridden 19, Laser's Edge Co. That's a new one. I've never seen him here. Awesome. And Renaud Arseneault. So good evening, Thomas. Hope you're doing well. When you sent me the message last night asking me if I was going live or if it was just something that you missed, you made me realize that I didn't post anything at all, letting people know. So thank you. Don't hesitate if I'm supposed to be doing something and I forget. Don't hesitate because my memory is not at 100%. So hello, Marilyn. Hello, Thomas. Hello, Dave. Hello, Heating. Hi, Eating. Whoever Eating is. A little shout out to my friend Scott at Rambling with the Brooms. I love it. I don't even know if I'm going to wear it. I'm afraid to ruin it. I love the cap. I won this on his live stream last week, which is pretty cool. Honestly, I love it. I don't even want to bend the little, this part, I don't know what it's called in English. I don't even want to bend it. Usually I'll have all my caps bent a little bit, but not this one. I also purchased this shirt. It is orange, long sleeves. I figured, sorry, I was deer hunting, hunting season. I don't know how you guys see me. How's the color? Is it better if I shut this light? Let's see. Not really. But it is orange, and I'm going to try to show you. Okay, you can see. Follow me on YouTube. That's something I realized. I ordered the hoodie from my giveaway from a few weeks ago that my daughter won. I ordered her hoodie, and I figured I'm going to get one for myself. I wanted to have an orange one because something happens during grouse season. I can just put this shirt on, go out like this. I don't need to put it like an orange, vest or jacket or whatever. It looks hot pink. Better without the light. All right. Thank you, Thomas. Hello, Lynn. Oh, that's nice. I'm glad to be back. There's nothing that would stop me from going deer hunting. But my friend asked me earlier today, so how was your week? I'm like, well, let's see. I have the C. I've been having fever for the past 2 days. I've had about 4 hours of sleep every night since Sunday. I missed on an 8-pointers. My 2 feet are full of blisters from walking with rubber boots that was so warm that my feet were transpiring and they were wet, so I have blisters. We ended up getting a doe, so I have 50 pounds of meat on that deer. It was 102 pounds, so 51 pounds. It's coming to my freezer. But while I was working on the deer, I don't know if I did a bad movement, or if it's just because I'm getting old, or if it's just because my dad has the same issues. There's something wrong with my knee, my left knee. I think it's a little bit of all the three. I've always had a little bit of issues with my knees, but if I get up, I'm struggling to even walk right now. So yeah, I was infested by ticks at some point. I walked. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know why. Like when that happened, I started checking my dad's clothes, my brothers, and my sons, because Anthony came this year. I started checking all their clothes for ticks. I'm the only one that got ticks. I was the only one 2 years ago, and I was the only one like 5 years ago. So I don't know. So anyone here hunting? Have you ever heard about scopes? Like you set them up before you go hunting, and to our knowledge, like we didn't drop them. We didn't drop the rifles. We didn't shake them. We didn't. We didn't fall with them. Like there's nothing that could explain that the scope was so out of sight. I'm not sure if that's the right term, but I shot at an 8-pointers Tuesday morning. He was maybe 75, 50 yards from me. I'm gonna say 100 feet. And I say an 8-pointers because he wasn't like this big, huge monster, but I could see the antlers without having to look in the scope. But when I looked in the scope, and I let go of the first shot, I missed. And then I have a pump action, so I tried to load the second bullet. My magazine jammed. So I took the one bullet that was jammed, took it out, let it go on the ground, tried to pump again. Same thing. So I just pressed a little button, let go of the magazine, put a second magazine in, and looked up, let go of another shot. The deer didn't even move. That close, a buck, it's supposed to be gone. Like it should have been gone. Why it was still there, I don't know. Third shot, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to ham for the middle of the deer. That way, maybe I'll, ruin some of the meat. But he's going to fall, for sakes. Like, what is going on? Like, it doesn't make sense. I shot right in the middle of the deer. Nothing. He just went on with his life like a little Bambi. I wish I could have gone back and just used a little aim on the gun instead of scope. So a little bit later that day, that's what I did. I didn't use a scope, and I ended up with a beautiful doe, 102 pounds of meat. He said it was 102 on scale. So it could have been, because I removed the tenderloin before I left the butcher. And then he just waited after. He waited it after. Sorry. So what happened? I don't know. I don't know if he added that extra pound or two. But anyway, it was a nice dough. Very nice dough. But while we were going there to get the doe, my brother has a doe tag also, and he's coming through the bushes with my dad. And I have my son next to me, and I'm like, "Look, Anthony, there's a deer right there looking at us." So I'm there looking in the scope just to see what it was, because if it was a buck, I could have told my son, like, shoot it. He's got his own tag, so he can go for it. So to me, it was a doe. When I first looked, it was a doe. Um, I even yelled at my brother. There was maybe um, I don't know, maybe like 50 feet from me. So in a cutting where you have to go through all the dead logs and stumps and all that stuff, it took him like a few seconds, maybe even a minute before he got to me. And he looks in the scope. He's like, "That's a buck. Like that's a spike horn. Like he's got antlers. Go ahead and shoot." Like he's like, "I'm gonna let Anthony shoot. Go ahead and shoot." I'm like, "I don't see the antlers, and you can't legally shoot it if you don't see the antlers." Suddenly, he just started moving towards us. Um, my dad, my brother, and my son came behind me, and there was a bunch of dead logs that were left there. Um, I hate when they waste, especially when they tear down the forest just to let the wood there to rot. But we were all standing on top of the log pile. Um, so when he turned his head a little bit, I could see the antlers, and then like it was clear as day that it was a little spike buck. So my son let go of a shot, but he was like facing us. So it was a hard shot because when he's sideways, you have a little bit more uh, margin where you can, maybe like in a foot radius, you're gonna get the deer. But sorry, but he was facing us. So by facing us, you only have like, just a tiny spot where you can hit the deer and actually put him down. My dad and my brother started shooting at the same time. The deer went away. So what happened? I don't know. Um, that day, we could have had the 2 bucks, the 2 does, because my brother shot at another doe that night, and we missed. So we started wondering, like, what's wrong with our scopes? That's a good one, Marilyn. Yeah, it was a rough go, but I made the best of it. I'll get to it in a second. Um, the scope, from my understanding, it's not that old, but it was set up before we went, before we left for hunt. Um, we left on Sunday, and I think it was either Friday after work or Saturday around lunch. I don't exactly remember exactly when it was, but we set the scopes, standing still at about 120 yards. We shot 3 bullets, and they were all within like maybe this big around like the middle dot. I even let Anthony take a shot because it was his first time hunting with a 30-30. So I'm like, you want to feel the gun. You want, especially if you have a young kid starting to hunt, you want him to feel it, to feel what he has in his hands, because it is still, a weapon. So you want him to feel comfortable. You want to show him everything about the safety, how to load the magazine and all that kind of stuff. So he took 3 shots. The second one, he knew that he missed. He's like, I know I moved. But the 2 other ones were like within an inch of the middle dot. So he was pretty good too. So what happened that we missed? I don't know. I have no idea. But after I had my doe, um, I was legally allowed to continue hunting for grouse or rabbits or coyotes. Plus, we are hunting near a place called Bear Creek. And from what we were told, it's called Bear Creek for a reason. So, I'd rather have protection by legally be hunting coyotes. I got 113 pounds doe with hide on. Got 52 pounds of meat. If it's for you and you alone, that's a pretty decent amount. I know we all want to have the big trophy, the big monster, and have meat for a year, but uh, that's the second thing. I have a cousin living a little bit further down the province, and he's got those doe tags for nuisance. Is it even a word? Nuisance. Um, because he owns an orchard, and the deer go there and destroy the orchard. So he's allowed legally to have a certain amount of doe tags in a year to get rid of those does, and he can legally give the tags to whoever he wants. So he has two daughters, so he gives the tags to his daughters, of course, and I think he gives one to his brother. um, he's got an 8 pointers, and his daughter got a 9. I'm not exactly sure how many does they ended up with after, but he asked me if I wanted to have some meat. And knowing that I have a family of 7, even though I have a moose and pork in my freezer, yeah, I want to have deer meat because deer meat is my favorite. The venison is my favorite meat. And the more I get, the better. Hey, Michael, thank you so much for stopping by. Are you going live tonight? You're usually going live on Saturday nights, right? I know you're going a little bit later. And as you can probably feel in my voice, I am not feeling too well. So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make it, but I will try to make it next week. I'm not sure. Maybe someone else does. Does altitude affect scopes? No, like I mean at 100 yards. No, I say 100 yards. 100 feet. There was a buck broadside in front of me. I took the shot right in the dead zone, and he didn't flinch. I took a second shot, same spot. I figured, maybe the first time I moved without realizing. Same thing. He didn't move. Nothing. No blood. No nothing. The third shot, I figured, I'm going to try to hit him and just try to get a blood trail somewhere. And nothing. There was no blood, no tracks, no hair on the ground, nothing. So I don't think it has anything to do with ethical or best shots. Is when I looked in my scope, like I tried to stay uh, as steady as I could by putting the rifle on top of the Jeep, just like not loaded, of course. Just try to aim at a specific point in a tree. And when I looked in the scope, compared to when I looked with the little ball under the scope, it was about a foot off. So I know the scope was not set properly. And same thing happened to me a couple of years back where I've seen this monster buck took a shot and missed. And I checked my scope after, and you're a foot off. So something happens. I don't know if it's the way that I take the rifle out of the case, or if it's just because it was in the back of the Jeep, and maybe the 4 hours drive had something to do with it. Maybe it's getting in the cold, the warm, the cold, the warm. I don't know, but something's definitely wrong with the scopes. I hope my son just showed up. So maybe thank you. Thank you. Um, I have a few pictures here that I want to show you because when we talk about um, when we talk about going out in the wild, there's always there's always um, some stuff around that's good for you. And I love foraging, so I found a few things that I'm going to share with you. Um, no, like I said, like the second year or so, I just forgot about the scope. It's just like I'm gonna go and aim with the little ball on top of the rifle, and it was a clean shot. So I don't think it has anything to do with buck fever. I know a lot of people say that, but I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. We're gonna go and test them out, and we're gonna do a few different things with the rifle, just like shake it out and you know put it in the case, get it out, try again, just to see if we're still in the middle of the target. Let's see. So, anybody knows what this is? This in French is called petit T, which means little T, but the actual name for it is snowberry or crawling snowberries. This I was able to harvest some when I went blueberry picking last August. I still had some left, but I figured, as you can see, there's a lot of it. So I figured Gaultheria something. Yeah, it could be like the scientific name. But I figured I'm there. I have nothing better to do because I already tagged my deer. All I wanted to do was stay away from the other hunters. My brother and my dad and my son were still around. So I just wanted to stay away from them. And like until Friday. Friday, I decided to just go and walk around and try to spook some in their directions because there was nothing moving at all. So yeah, I harvested a little bit of this. This is something I've been looking for a while. I've been researching, trying to find a spot around here to find it. Now, there's two different plants here. You have this one here, this one. This is called leather leaves. Marilyn, you were right. Was it 2 days ago when you said that it has something to do with sheep poison or whatever? It is highly, highly toxic for sheeps. We got a few books to learn more edible plants and stuff for medicinal purposes. Pretty crazy, some of the stuff I have bulldozed in the bush and didn't even know. Yeah. The one I want to show you is this one here. And one of the ways to identify it is when you look underneath, it's a little bit hairy. It looks like it was, let me see if I can show you a picture here. I think I showed the picture too. Let me just check a quick second. That would have been shown to Jessica, maybe. See how it looks like a little bit hairy? And The leaves kind of they have a little curve in them. So the scientific name for the leather leaves would be Calmia augustifolia. Um, it is considered a medicinal plant, but I don't know enough about it to go out there and actually eat it or do anything with it. Let me put this back. Um, oh, just a sec. Boom. So this here is called Labrador tea. And this is something that a lot of people are looking for. And I was able to land in a, I'm going to call it a mine of Labrador tea. The only thing is, I was a little bit too late in the season. Uh, you know, I wish I could have been there like a month ago, but it's still they're still good. They're still edible, and I harvested like a sandwich baggie full of them. Hey Tiffany, thank you so much for stopping by. So that would be the leather leaves, Legium groenlandicum. They'd be edible, but or you're talking about this one. This one here is Labrador tea. Um, it is very, very popular, especially on the Quebec side. I find a lot of people go after them. But I'm very happy that I was able to find some. And I had my mentor Jessica showing me what to look for in those plants, and when I found it, I sent her a picture and I said, "This has to be Labrador tea. Like I know it is." And she's like, "Yep, you have it." And I'm like, "Okay, is it still good if like the little hairy part is kind of yellowish instead of white?" She's like, "Yeah, that's fine. It's just not in the prime, but it's still good." So now I know what it looks like. I know what to look for, and I'm pretty sure I would know where to find it. Although it might be hard to go and well, these ones were harvested 4 hours away from my place, but around where I live, it could be hard to find. And the reason why I say that is because, um, what's it called? Um, there was a lake there, like probably thousands of years ago, and the plants started growing on top of the lake. And when you look where the lake should be, you don't see a lake anymore. You just see bushes and probably full of Labrador tea. So it would be very, very, very dangerous to go and walk there. Uh, like I said, I don't know what those lakes are called, but um, so it would be very dangerous to go out there and harvest all the Labrador tea there is. But just from the side, where I know it was safe to walk, I was able to harvest quite a bit. This here, anyone knows what it is? There's one picture missing. Why isn't it showing up? Okay. So this is called sweet fern. It could be wet bog, Marilyn. That would make sense. Um, this is sweet fern. Very, very good um, in a drink. I'm gonna say a tea or, well, maybe not a tea because I guess it's better when you even drink it in a cold, like just in cold water. Uh, so the leaves kind of look like this. The plant itself, uh, once you see it, I mean, you know what it is. I've never seen them around here, but I was looking on this new app that I just learned about. Um, One of them is called iNaturalist. So naturalist with the letter I in front. And that allows you to search and pinpoint spots where you find specific plants. um, so I looked on there and was able to find a few places around here that would have some of those sweet ferns. It's known to be what's it called, hypertonic, um, where it's very, very good for the immune system, gives you energy. Um, it can help with regeneration of your body, I guess, and things like that. So I was pretty happy, and the little nutlets or the seeds is where all the flavor and the medicinal properties are. Well, they are in the leaves, of course, but they're more concentrated, I should say, in the little nutlets. Thomas, are you still there? I have a question for you. Uh, Now, anybody knows what this is? This is something I've been looking for a very long time. Although I was always told that edible mushrooms would grow on live trees. If there was a dead tree or a dead log, um, the mushrooms were no good. I found those. They look pretty awesome. They have beautiful colors. All these are different mushrooms, and look at this here. What does it remind you of? When I see this here, it looks like a grouse tail. Um, but this mushroom is called turkey tail. Um, if you're talking about the turkey tails, they are very, very stiff. From what I understand, it's almost like you would try to eat leather. I am currently dehydrating them, and I'm going to grind them up with my coffee grinder and make tea with it. And it has a lot of medicinal uh, benefits for your body as well. Um, the reason I was asking if you were there, Thomas, is because there's this lady here in New Brunswick, and maybe that's something that could interest you as well, Tiffany. Um, oh, thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much. You need to start doing live streams too. You know that, right? Uh, I am so far behind on my on all my videos. You are so close from having the 1,000 subscribers. Um, and yeah, you need to do a few live streams. You did one that was about 3 minutes, but go ahead and make some. It helps with the watch time, and more watch time, you get promoted more. And by getting promoted more, you get more people to follow you to watch your stuff. And it's a nice wheel to be on. Um, so yeah, Tiffany and Thomas, and even if there's anyone else watching the replay or in the chat right now that might not want to speak up in the chat, um, there's a lady in New Brunswick. Her name is Jessica Gauvin. Um, I'm gonna put her name in the chat. Um, don't be fooled by her last name. She speaks English. Um, she's English in the Fredericton area, I think, or maybe in the Moncton area. I don't know, but she's down there somewhere. She offers online classes for medicinal plants, um, one-on-one foraging classes, all that kind of stuff. Um, she told me the other day exactly what she was. Um, thing is, here in New Brunswick, you don't really have they don't really have a title for someone doing what she does because it's not really recognized in New Brunswick. But she's a specialist, a mushroom specialist, and she knows a lot and a lot and lots and lots and lots about medicinal plants. More in New Brunswick, but um, New Brunswick and Ontario, I'm pretty sure most of the stuff is pretty much the same. You could always ask her if it's something you're interested in. Just send me a message on Facebook after, and I can show you the Facebook page she has. And the thing is, she does that, but she can also do like monthly payments or things like that. Where um, if you can't really afford too much for any reason, life being what it is right now, it's even worse. But you can probably work something around like a $50 a month or $100 a month or anything like that. She has a few classes that are about $200-300. She also has one that's a year long for $800. And I'm telling you, with what I learned in the first class alone, it's already worth it. I have a bunch of stuff, a bunch of plants that I ordered, that I'm gonna plant around all my dad's property and try to grow those plants there. And I'm not talking about the recently legalized plant in Canada. That's not what I mean. Those are all legal plants, wild plants growing here in New Brunswick, and pretty much everywhere else in Canada. Um, so yeah, it is pretty awesome. Now, leaving for a week after all the stuff I ordered online, um, it is pretty cool because when I got home, I had a bunch of stuff. I had this shirt waiting in the mail. I had the second special hockey cards from Tim Horton that I won. Uh, you know, I already had the one from Carey Price, and I also have this one here. So this is a piece of an actual jersey that he played with. So those cards are usually worth over $100, which is pretty cool. Um, that's not necessarily the player that I wish I would have won, but it's a win regardless. Um, I also had this hat, like I mentioned before, from Scott at Rambling with the Brooms. And I also had a few seeds, and apparently the mailbox was full, so there could be more seeds waiting for me Monday. So let's see what I ordered. Come. I don't know if you can even see. There's like a letter missing, so I'm guessing it's complimentary, but there's no I. Salad bowl mix. So this is random stuff that I have no idea what it is. So this is going to go in my collection. I ordered some Roma tomatoes. We love them. They're awesome for salsa and spaghetti sauce. Italian striped zucchinis. Those are delicious. Okay, so all those seeds that I have here are all herbs. They're not all perennials, but they all have medicinal properties. And since they're probably things that you're already growing in your garden. And if it's something you're interested in, I suggest you just go on Google, write the name of the plant, and like this year, everybody knows what it is. And this plant is so versatile in terms of medicinal properties. It is a perennial. So if you go on Google and you just write down rosemary health benefits or benefits, it's going to come out with a bunch of stuff. Let's see. Rosemary benefits. It says that it is good for improving memory. God knows I need this. Relieves muscle pain and spasms. Spasms. That's a hard word to pronounce for a French guy. SPASM. Stimulate hair growth. Yeah, that is also something that I need. Support the circulatory and nervous system, which is something that pretty much everyone would need. There are different ways to prepare it and, different things you can do with it, but a lot of people are growing it. It's not a perennial in our climate. Let's see. Perennial or annual? Is rosemary perennial in Canada? This person will thrive in the heat of a Canadian summer. Yeah, you're right. It says that I should be bringing it inside, but still, it is known for a lot of medicinal properties. Another one that's supposed to be perennial, but it's probably the same thing. Oregano. Oregano. It says that oregano is the oil has antibacterial qualities. It may help lower cholesterol. Spread like mint. Oregano, awesome. Is a strong antioxidant. It may reduce inflammation. May help with symptoms of upper respiratory infections. Now, when it says in May, it means that there was study done on it, but not enough to provide like confirmation that it is actually doing what it says it does. But the way I see it, and that is just my opinion, I work in a pharmacy. So it's hard for me to go 100% against the pharmaceuticals, and not everyone will agree. But what I can say is, from what I understand from a lot of people, the medications are done from extracting specific components of those plants. Now, if you're having a heart attack, what is going to be your first option? Are you going to go for a walk in the woods, try to find a plant that could possibly save your life, or are you going to go to the hospital? You're going to go to the hospital. If you're having, acid reflux and you're hurting to the point where it hurts so bad that you need to take meds to help with the pain or to help with the indigestion, meds are there for that. If you tend to have acid reflux. There are some plants out there that you can use um, to stay away from the medication, and it will probably not cure you as fast, but it may make it that you never need to take those meds. And that's what I believe. I believe that with a healthy nutrition, I mean, the natives used to live here, hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Um, we know that they died of different illness and different, like, for different reasons back then. Um, that the medical field has a lot of new things to show for, whether you like it or not, the vaccines, antibiotics and all that kind of stuff. We can now save people's lives. I mean, the human can live probably 30 years older than they used to 300-400 years ago. But do you think that those people had stomach issues? I doubt, because they weren't eating um, as much sugar. They weren't eating as much transformed products, but they were also eating a lot of the wild plants, and they knew what to do with them. And a lot of people still use them. A lot of natives and a lot of we say, we like, whenever we talk about the medicinal plants. I don't know about you, but I always have in mind, like, those Asian old fella, putting herbs in a soup and stirring it up and doing something that's gonna cure you or whatever. But there's a little bit of truth to it. The rabbits like oregano. Awesome. So if I grow some and it takes over, I can just give it to the rabbits. Maybe you guys wouldn't know. I'm going to upload a short soon, but would a mole make mounds? Oh, just around there, around the pump house and old garden. I can't tell you. I don't know. Hello, Randy. Thank you so much for stopping by. You have that. You have what is it that you have? The plants? Or the stomach issues like I do? Yeah, they were sick and dying for a lot of different reasons back in the days, which is totally different than what we have now. Acid reflux, okay. A lot of people grow this as well. Sage. And just to make it clear, I'm not saying that anyone should stop taking their meds. A lot of those medicinal plants will require you to talk to your doctors about it. But I used to take Zantac for my stomach issues, 150 milligrams twice a day. Well, I am still not eating the best food, but by slowly taking the approach of eating better and drinking more tea instead of Pepsi at night, which I'm still not perfect, by the way, but the few times in a month that I can do it, I'm no longer taking Zantac. I don't even have a prescription in the pharmacy anymore for Zantac. You don't grow it? It says it boosts memory, eases the menopausal hot flashes and night sweats, fights inflammation, improves blood sugar control, lowers cholesterol, prevents cancer, promotes skin healing, and relieves sore throat and tonsillitis. whatever that is. Yeah, sorry, I am not feeling good at all. So there are a lot of good benefits to sage. Treats cold sores. So it's pretty cool. Sage is a very good, very, very good plant. One thing I didn't know, Darren from Thorhaven Farm was growing tons of cayenne pepper, and he asked us what he should do with it because he canned some, he froze some, he did powder, he did this, he did that, and he was wondering what else he should have done with it. Just go and Google cayenne pepper health benefits. You'd be surprised. It is known to be like a super mega healthy plant. It's super, super good. It's one of the best in the medicinal field. Another one that I have is this one here. Chives. I have some already, but I don't think I have enough, and I want to grow some of those on my dad's land as well. They're rich in vitamin C for immune system, and they're good for vitamin K for optimal blood clotting and wound healing mechanism. Does it say anything else? I could probably dig a little bit more and find some more stuff, but I will stop it there for now. There's a hole in my seed package. But basil is also known. It can block calcium channels, which may help to lower blood pressure. Its essential oils can help lower your cholesterol and triglycerides. It also contains magnesium, which can help improve your blood flow by allowing your muscle and blood vessels to relax. Sorry. I'm gonna go to bed soon. Garlic chives. Garlic chives is very good, high in vitamin A and C, and fibers, and carotene, riboflavin, thiamine, which is vitamin B. Is it B6 or B12? I think it's B12. I could be wrong, but it's B6 or B12. It is good in iron, calcium, and potassium. So it does have a lot of medicinal. Sorry, Marilyn. I also have some Mexican marigold. Those were just purchased because I love different kind of mint. And what does it say? What does it say? Traditionally for medicinal and culinary use. So I will read on them later and see exactly what they're good for. This one here is a plant that I didn't know about until Angie from Me and You Acres gave us a plant. So the little yellow flower, if you chew on it, it will numb that part of the mouth you're chewing on. So if you have like a problem with a tooth, it will act somewhat like lidocaine or something like that. It will freeze your the area where it hurts. So it's a pretty good plant to have on hand, especially when you have kids that lose teeth, um, every month. I have to take off for dinner. I don't get back before you're done. Have a great night. Thank you. I will be done in probably the next 5 minutes. So, this one here, I did not try it. The toothache plant. I only had one flower coming up, and the plant died. But the one flower my daughter tried, and she said that it worked. It wasn't too much. I told her just chew on it and spit it out, and she did that, and it was working fine. So, the next one. Now you're probably wondering, why would you even go and buy those seeds? It grows in the nature. Um, I've never seen any around where I live. Well, maybe I did. Maybe I've seen some, but I just didn't know what it was. And I'm gonna plant them on my dad's land, and I'm gonna have a place to go and harvest them. It's pretty cool because I'm gonna have a place to go and harvest some. Another plant that's supposed to be very good for my stomach. Was it stomach or anxiety? Valerian plant. Now I know where I could find some, but I'm guessing that whoever knows where it is already harvesting them. I was able to see to find some through the app that I told you about earlier, iNaturalist. If you're into that kind of stuff, I suggest you go and check it out. Anxiety, valerian. Okay, makes sense. Yeah. So, and yeah, I have some mushrooms, well, turkey tails, and all the herbs that I showed you earlier that I foraged. It's all dehydrating right now, and I'm gonna go take it out and go to bed. Really not feeling good. Well, take care, everyone. Thank you for coming. I will just change this here for a second just to give a little shout out to my members. My members, you are all awesome, and I thank you so much for being members. I will go and put a song and let you guys go to whatever you're doing and enjoy the music.
I never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes.